Alright, here's CJ. Spotting a yellow taxi, he doesn't wait for a fare meter. He pulls the driver right out of the seat and takes the wheel himself. Now behind the wheel, CJ hits the gas, turning off the radio to focus on the drive. He maneuvers through traffic, driving past casinos, city blocks, and under walkways, weaving his way toward the edge of town. Crossing onto the dirt roads near the desert, he takes a shortcut behind a row of buildings. Pushing the taxi to its limits, he pulls into a parking lot right next to a church and slams on the brakes. Ditching the taxi, CJ decides to move on foot. He jogs across the empty parking spaces, hops over a brick wall, and lands smoothly back on the pavement of Rockshore East. He stops by a traffic light post and opens fire with his shotgun, blasting the streetlight just to mix things up. Running down the middle of the road, he spots something much faster, a sleek, gray Super GT sports car pulling up. CJ aims his shotgun at the driver, pulls her out of the vehicle, and leaves her stranded on the asphalt. He climbs into the sports car, shuts the door, and flips through the radio stations before turning it off. Screeching the tires, CJ speeds away, leaving trails of sparks and smoke behind as he hits the open road. After unpausing his game, CJ pulls up to a local gas station. Instead of filling the tank, he hops out, leaves the motor running, and pulls out his assault rifle. CJ aims right at the fuel pumps and opens fire. Now holding a fire extinguisher, CJ jogs away from the burning gas station. But driving or walking is far too slow for him today, so he activates a Jetpack cheat code and straps on thrusters right on the spot. Blasting off into the sky, CJ lifts above the Las Venturas rooftops. He glides over the power lines, pawn shops, and parking lots, taking in the grand view of the city skyline. Descending back down to the street near the Royal Casino, CJ drops the jetpack, pulls out a bouquet of flowers, and casually struts toward the entrance of a Polynesian-themed hotel. Within a little time, CJ takes a quick look at his map to double-check his location in Pilgrim before stepping back into the action. Instead of walking inside the hotel, CJ decides it's time to fly. He triggers his trusty jetpack cheat once more, soaring up over the hotel's triangular roof and gliding smoothly past the palm trees and pool. Cruising high above the streets, CJ navigates toward a local shopping strip. Spotting the glowing yellow bells of a Cluckin' Bell, he lowers himself right into the parking lot and drops the jetpack. CJ struts right through the double doors, heading straight toward the counter to grab a quick bite. Back in action, CJ approaches the counter where a worker in a ridiculous chicken suit greets him. CJ decides to order the Cluckin' Little Meal over and over again, stacking up orders while the employee delivers one sarcastic chicken joke after another. All that fast food immediately catches up with him. CJ starts groaning and pukes right there on the restaurant floor. After taking a second to recover, he turns around to survey the room. Instead of tipping the staff, CJ pulls out his assault rifle and opens fire inside the diner. He then turns his gun on the chicken-suited cashier before coolly turning around, exiting into the parking lot, and hitting pause once again. CJ decides to upgrade his ride. He pulls up the cheat menu and spawns himself a sleek freeway motorcycle, hopping on and revving the engine. CJ tears out of the parking lot, speeding past the archway and onto the main road. Riding one-handed, he whips out his micro SMG and fires a spray of bullets into passing traffic as he leans into the turns. Cruising down the strip past Caligula's palace and the Visage, CJ weaves between lanes and keeping pedestrians on high alert. After pulling under a hotel overhang, CJ abruptly ditches the bike mid-stride. He jogs out into the open driveway on foot. Unpausing near the driveway, CJ decides to take an impromptu dip. He sprints toward the decorative rock fountain in front of the casino, dives headfirst into the artificial pond, and swims beneath the surface before pulling himself back onto the ledge. Dripping wet, CJ leaps over the stone barrier and onto the sidewalk of the strip. He sets off at a full sprint, past bustling casino fronts, cash exchanges, and tourists, making a beeline toward the Red Sands East strip mall. Passing right by a tattoo parlor, CJ spots the neon sign of a barbershop. He stops in front of the barbershop entrance, steps through the double doors, and takes a look around the empty salon. With the barber standing ready at his station, CJ decided to get a haircut. Browsing through the style menu, he opts for something bold and orders up a fresh pink mohawk. The barber gets to work buzzing away, leaving CJ with a striking neon pink streak. Satisfied with his eccentric new look, CJ stands up and heads straight out the front door. Back outside in Red Sands East, CJ starts jogging down the sidewalk, showing off his new pink hair to the city. Then, he opened up the cheat menu and get Wayfarer bike, and went to a safe house to take a little nap.